Hey YouTubers, welcome back to Eli the Tech. It's already a pre-diagnosed vehicle, it's already fixed. I'm sorry that I didn't start this process since the beginning, but it's a freaking hot day. I wasn't really in the mood, but I'm gonna record the pre-diagnosis of this diagnosis. This is a 2008 Chrysler Town & Country. This could also apply to a 2008 Dodge Caravan, the 3.3 liter engine. Pretty much the customer brought this van last night. The complaint was that the radio was not working. He said that it stopped working for about 2 weeks already. And he has had also an intermittent ABS and traction light control lights on the cluster. But this video is going to be based on just on the radio for now, since this radio is an active code. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you guys the full scan that I did last night. It was done at 8:21 p.m., which was Sunday night. Alright, so I'm going to go through the DTC list and show you guys this code that I found for the radio. That's the ABS code, a C2200 anti-lock brake module internal. Perhaps it's maybe a glitch. Alright, so as you can see there on the cabin compartment node, we see a U0184. It's a current code, lost communication with radio. This code actually appeared in other two modules. On the heat vent AC module, also shows a U0184 current, lost communication with radio. And last but not least, it also shows in the TIPM central gateway, U0184, also shows current, lost communication with radio. Now this morning's automated system test, which was done at 7:45 a.m. It also gave us the same, pretty much same codes in the same modules. TIPM's U0184 also shows active, lost communication with radio. The heat vent AC, same symptom here, same code. Cabin compartment node, active, U0184. And also the ABS shows a C2200 stored as not an active or current code. So like I said, since the customer mentioned this, it was an intermittent. So at this moment last night, it showed as a stored code, not an active. That's about it. But now the key point right here is to look for the radio module here. So when the scan tool went through its process of doing an automated system test, when it got to the audio, I mean that's an audio, we're looking for the radio. Okay, for the radio, when it got to the radio, it showed not scanned. This vehicle may be missing optional equipment. This controller may be not available, or there may be a communication problem. In this case, there's a radio, and for some reason it was not communicating with the central gateway CAN bus, the positive and negative. Okay, so right now it shows not scanned. Okay, so before I show you guys the current automated system test, I'm going to show you guys pretty much what I did. The first step to this pre-diagnosis, it was to actually look at the TIPM's fuse box. It was to verify, to do a visual inspection on the 30 amp fuse. That fuse is located on J7. I'll show you guys a picture. I did a visual inspection to see if the fuse was not blown. It wasn't. I make sure that the fuse was properly seated. It was properly seated, so that checked out fine. So I came back here to the vehicle. I came in here to verify that the radio was not working. At the moment, it was not working. It was completely dead. So I call those pretty much the symptom here. It was a glitching problem here. For some reason, this radio completely shut down. It lost communication. It didn't want to wake up. So I went ahead and removed the front panel. It's not completely removed, but it's loose. There's pretty much two screws that live here. As you can see, there's two little covers. So pretty much remove those two screws. After you remove those two screws, this top cover pops up. So then you're able to get access to these two screws that live here. And then finally this pops backwards. And so so you pretty much have access to your radio. The radio also has another 4 screws. Remove those. And then you have access to the connector. And the radio actually pops out. So what I did, I actually removed the connector from the radio. I removed it for about a minute or so. I plugged it back in, and the radio started to work. So that just tells me that the problem was a glitching problem. It was I wouldn't say it was an intermittent, because the radio stopped working for about two weeks, and it never came back alive during those 2 weeks. But pretty much it was a glitch. Perhaps a component inside the radio started to glitch. Now, let's say that if you remove the connector for about a minute or so, and you plug it back in, and it doesn't want to, and the radio's still dead, another tip that I could give you guys is that when you plug the connector and the radio's still dead, try to tap on the radio housing maybe a couple times. And if the radio comes alive, that pretty much tells you that the problem was the radio internal components that's causing this radio to completely shut down and lose communication with the central gateway, which is at code U0184. Alright, so the next step, I'm going to show you guys is how to actually verify powers and grounds, and also integrity on the CAN bus signals for the positive and negative. So let me set up and show you guys these 4 measurements. Alright guys, so I'll be using a LED test light. It's already connected to ground. I'm actually using one of those socket connectors that has power and ground. So, and then I have the this jumper wire. I'm carefully front probing the pin number 1, which is a power feed. It's a yellow with red. So it's currently showing about 12 volts. That's good. So now I'm going to check for ground. Alright guys, so with the test light connected to battery positive now, I'm checking the ground circuit for this connector. Shows about 12 volts. It shows an indication of a green light for ground. So I'm actually front probing the black wire, which is pin number 12, which is on the right side. So that's good so far. Good power and good ground. So now I'm going to check for the positive CAN bus. Alright guys, so I'm checking the positive CAN bus signal. I'm using a voltmeter for this test. So I'm actually front probing pin number 13, which is that white with gray stripe wire, which is the top one there. So with the voltmeter connected to ground and the positive lead connected to the CAN bus positive signal, the signal currently shows about 2.6. It's ranged anywhere from 2.5, 2.7, but it's mostly around 2.6. So that's good. And this is with the key on, engine off. So next I'm gonna check the CAN bus negative. Alright, so I'm currently front probing the CAN bus negative, which is a white with orange stripe wire, which is actually below the positive CAN bus, which was pin number 13 in this case. For this CAN bus negative, white with orange is pin number 2. The voltmeter shows about 2.3. The range for this CAN bus negative anywhere from 2.2, 2.4, but mostly in the 2.3 range. So far it's looking good. So pretty much if all these check out properly with good power, good ground, and good CAN bus signals for your positive and negative, pretty much if the radio still doesn't want to work, your problem, it's a faulty radio. But like I said, don't forget to even tap on the radio housing here. Just tap on it a couple times, and if the radio comes alive, that pretty much tells you it's the radio. Somewhere in the internals of the radio components, something's going bad. All right, guys. So the last step I'm going to show you guys is the scan tool once again, and I'm going to show you that once I do another automated system test, that code that showed up as U0184 and it was an active code is going to now appear as a stored code that is no longer present. So let me set up and show you guys. Alright guys, so with the scan tool hooked up again, I'm going to go ahead and do another automated system test. Show you guys that since the problem is already fixed with the radio, the central gateway will be able to read with the, actually not read, but communicate with the radio. And that code that we saw as a U0184 is going to become stored. It's not going to be an active test no more. So as the system goes through its testing parameters, I'm going to bring you back once it's done. Alright guys, so the report ready, it's ready to view again. It's 100%. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you guys. Since we completed the review report, I'm going to go to the radio module here and show you guys that the central gateway was able to actually read or communicate with the radio, since we're showing no diagnostic trouble codes. Alright guys, so as you can see here, on the TIPM central gateway, the U0184 lost communication with radio has become stored, so it's no longer active. On the heat vent AC module, U0184 shows a stored code, so it's no longer active. But now it shows that the B1028 rear blower control request input circuit low, so that's an active code now. For the U0184 on the cabin compartment node, shows it's stored, but now on the radio module, it shows no diagnostic trouble codes. Remember that on the previous one, it couldn't communicate with the radio. So since we fixed the glitch, the system is back and running. Alright guys, so hopefully this little pre-diagnosis video helps anyone out there who's struggling with the radio not working for any Dodge Caravan or Dodge or Chrysler Town and Country. Alright guys, so this is Eli the OBD Tech. Subscribe if you like.